Here we have a wild Mark Becker trying to figure out the gas station pump. Will he be able to pump the gas, folks? The world will never know.
One eternity later.
Up a mountain, I'm drowning. Mark's drowning. He's drowning.
Don't text him, bro.
Hey, it's only up from here. That away we go. Where we'll stop, I just don't know. Where we're going, we don't need roads. We don't need roads.
Wait, are you guys going to the Arnold? Do you mind if I tag along? Please fall.
Oh.
You don't know anything.
We don't need roads. It's only up and away we go. Where we'll stop, I just don't know. Where we're going, we don't need roads. We don't need roads. It's only up and away. It's only up from here. And it's only up.
So once we finally got into the expo, our plan was to just kind of walk around and feel things out a little bit. It was Friday, and even though it's a little bit less busy than Saturdays, it was still pretty packed in there, and all the lines that we wanted to go to for any of the booths for meeting people or supplement wise were pretty packed. So we decided to just kind of walk around and meet people that way, because you end up actually meeting a lot of people who are walking to the bathroom or walking away from their booths. And it's one of those things where it just really depends, and you have to be in the right place at the right time. So it ended up working out pretty well for us, and as you can see here, I'm actually meeting up with one of my followers who I've messaged for a long time, and he's actually followed me for a really long time, always showing great support to the channel and to the Instagram page. So I wanted to shout him out real quick, Zach Gibson. He's a really great guy. Him and his buddy, and I can't remember his buddy's name, were just super cool and just really genuine people. So it's awesome to finally meet him. Go follow him on Instagram, _Coach Gibson. And like I said, I can't remember your buddy's name, but I do apologize. But Zach, it was really nice to finally meet you, and I'm glad we got to run into each other. All the best, man.
Holy, incredible athletes.
So as we were walking around, the classic physique competition was actually just getting finished up, so we got a quick clip of that, and they were actually literally just walking off stage, so that was kind of unfortunate, but it was cool just to see them briefly. After that, we actually walked by the Max Effort Muscle booth, which I didn't actually get any footage of, but I met Corey Gregory, who's someone who kind of got me into fitness as a whole, which was really cool to finally meet him. And Max Effort Muscle is actually sponsoring Ronda Rousey, so Ronda Rousey was ended up being there, but the line got cut off when I was already up at the booth, so I didn't get the chance to actually meet her, but I did get some quick footage of that. But one of the coolest things that I got to do was talk to Cody Drobot, which, if you're not familiar with Golden Aesthetics, he's sponsored by them, Artemis Dolgan's company, but Cody is a really great guy. He was very nice. He's from Canada, so if you can't tell in the clip here that I'm going to show you, he has a little bit of a Canadian accent, but I'm sure I have a little bit of a Midwestern accent to him, so it was really cool to meet him, get a pic with him. He was a very nice guy. He was with his girlfriend, so I didn't want to interrupt him, but he handled it very well, and like I said, he was just a very genuine guy, so it was cool to meet him. I literally was just grabbing some pizza, and I turned around and I recognized him in his Golden Aesthetics apparel, so I had to grab a pic with him, and it was really cool. So check out this interaction.
Thank you. Yeah, I got fourth. Like, the guys that beat me, they're like in their 30s. They got like thick, dense muscle. I just need to go some more. I'm still young yet. So thank you, brother. I appreciate it. What's your name? I'm Joe. Nice to meet you, Joe. Nice to meet you too. I'm gonna get a big man. Yeah, man. Sorry about it. No, that's not.
After we ended up grabbing some food, we headed back out into the expo, and we ran into Mike Israetel on his way to the bathroom, actually, which was pretty funny. But if you don't know who Mike Israetel is, I suggest you get on it, and I also suggest you familiarize yourself with RP, and I won't even give you what that acronym stands for, but just search Mike Israetel RP and you will find a ton of info, and you'll probably learn a thing or two, because I definitely have learned a ton from this guy. So it was really cool to meet someone like that, and someone who is just so well known in the industry, and just someone who has such a vast amount of knowledge when it comes to fitness and just nutrition and training in general. So that was an honor to meet him, and it was really, really cool.
I don't know how he knows all these fucking people.
So this next guy I'm talking to is actually the 2017 IPE Natural Bodybuilding World Champion. His name's Samuel Okunola, and I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. If I'm not, if I'm totally butchering it, Sam, I do apologize. But I'll put his Instagram handle right here. Go check out this guy's physique. He's someone who always gets thrown the genetic card at him, like, oh, you have great genetics, and he does, but he has the work ethic to match, and he's just such a humble guy where it's awesome to see someone like that have success, because that's really how it should be. So really cool to see a world champion who holds himself with such a great demeanor and is just so nice. I walked right up to the guy, and he was just super interactive and just super friendly from the get-go. So it was a pleasure meeting you, Sam, and hopefully we can catch up again soon.
Oh, really? Nice to meet you, man, Mark.
And you guys are both tall too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, for him, yeah.
I got like 17. We're making strides, but do what we can. But yeah, I had to stop this. Exactly. Hey. I hope. I appreciate it.
Good to meet you, man. Take care.
And you know the videography for Jeff Nipper?
No, I don't know Jeff Nipper is.
Yeah, I recognize him in the videos. I was like,
I don't.
Certain this is working, but I'm working. Listen, I know being broke can be a burden. I'll be the first to say I'm not a perfect person. If there's one thing that I am, then that's determined. They say that everything will happen for a reason, and baby, that's the only thing that I believe in. It seems like every day I'm Colorado rolling, and every night I'm California dreaming. I've been making money serving on the weekends, but that's not much. A lot of people in the club tonight.
So 2 years ago when I went to the Arnold, I ran into Goku Flex, Matt Keto, and he was just walking around. We ended up grabbing a pic, and this year when I went again, I actually ended up walking into him again as I was just kind of browsing around the Arnold, and he was actually with Nava the Beast. They're both sponsored by Alpha, and Nava the Beast is actually someone who I've been subscribed to on YouTube for a while now, so it's really cool to finally get a chance to meet him for the first time in person, and it was cool to see Matt Keto again and actually have him remember me, so that was pretty legit. It was good to see them both, and they were super, super genuine guys, even though I kind of stopped them as they were making their way back to their booth, but both really cool dudes, and it was awesome to get a chance to talk with them. I also ended up running into my boy Ray Sean, who does the videography for Jeff Nippert. Obviously, you probably know who Jeff Nippert is, and if you don't, I'm surprised, but he does the videography and also helps him edit, so it was really cool to meet him. I saw him at the Arnold, and I saw him again later as we did our workout at LA Fitness, which you guys will see in part 2, but he was a really nice dude, talked with him for a while. And I also ran into the OG YouTuber himself, Nick Wright, Skondor himself. Actually, I didn't even know that was his original YouTube name before people actually put their real name on YouTube. So I shout out to Eric. He definitely knew that. Eric Munoz, my buddy, he knew his username. So really cool to run into Nick Wright and someone who's just like literally, like I said, one of the OG fitness YouTubers and still killing it. So pleasure to meet you, Nick. And after that, we actually ran into another one of my followers on Instagram who actually followed me just like 3 days before. His name is Zach Sturgis. He's a really, really nice guy. He actually was fencing at the Arnold, so that's another awesome thing that they have at the Arnold. They have tons of different sports. So fencing, he was doing that, and he actually competed that weekend. Zach, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for the follow. It was really cool because he, like I said, I was like, how long have you been subscribed to me, or how long have you been following me? He's like, only a few days, but it was pretty funny. So very nice to meet you, Zach, and thank you for coming up to me. I do appreciate it, man. So as we were actually leaving the expo, we ended up running into Chris Elkins and Christopher Barakat, and these two dudes are someone who I've been talking to on Instagram for a while now, and someone who I've learned a ton from over the years. Both of these guys are very, very informative and very, very knowledgeable when it comes to bodybuilding, physique coaching, and just prepping and just training and nutrition in general. So very, very awesome to finally get the chance to meet them, and very cool to know that they're both very genuine guys. These two dudes are probably the team that I would go with when I decided to do my first show and just decided to go full on with a prep. And I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome when that time comes, but very awesome to meet them, like I said, and it was a pleasure to get the chance to kind of work it out with them a little bit and just do a little posing later in the day, which I'll show you guys in part 2. But this kind of concludes part 1 of the day. I wanted to just kind of give you a little bit more insight as to what was going on and just kind of give you a little bit more of a narration, just so you guys aren't like, who is this? Why are you talking to him? And that sort of thing. So hopefully you enjoyed this style of video. I'm going to be, like I said, releasing part 2 in the next few days, so hopefully you stick around for that. And if you didn't subscribe already, please do. Turn on those notifications as well. That'll give you a little notification every time I put up a new video. And yeah, please drop a like if you did enjoy this, and share the video if you want your friends to see it as well, and if you really want to help out the channel. But if not, that's all good too. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys in part 2. Peace out.
It's only up from here, nah, 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 nah. Hey. I'm not for certain this is working, but I'm working. Listen, I know being broke can be a burden. I'll be the first to say I'm not a perfect person. If there's one thing that I am, then that's determined. They say that everything will happen for a reason, and baby, that's the only thing that I believe. It seems like every day I'm Colorado rolling, and every night I'm California dreaming. I've been making money serving on the weekends, but that's not much. A lot of people in the club tonight, but that's not us. I got work to do to stack mine up. Been in my jeans since my grandma had to patch mine up. I look at everyone around me, I just can't keep up. I feel the pressure, but I know that I can add my touch. People that I used to love are wishing me bad luck. Oh shucks, now you can tell them get the fuck from here. It's only up from here. Nah, nah, nah. I just don't know.